Hi everyone. Today, as the topic of the day, we are going to discuss about the COVID-19 that occurred, and we are going to see how it impacted the companies, just how the companies are impacted or were impacted during these times, and we are going to see how businesses tried their best to recover from its losses. We are going to look for the strategies or the ways that business used in order to recover from this pandemic, and so that they can return to their normal life, even though it happened slowly, but there came the best results. So in this presentation, we are going to also to look about the other systems, the support systems that were available that also happen that help the business to recover from their losses. As a brief, we are going to see about the pre-COVID times, how the business were working, and you're going to see the impact of the COVID. We are going to see how the business use the strategies in order to recover. We are going also to look about the support systems from the ministry, and that help the business to just get recover from their losses. And then after we get to the conclusion. So as an introduction, um, as you understand, um, there are the COVID. It started in the winter of 2019, just as you got from. It started in China, and it started to spread over the world just in 2020. And the pandemic affected many people, the well-being of citizens, the well-being of many workers, the businesses, the countries. Yeah, it affected different sectors or different fields. And also many countries tried their best to take the strategies according just to the how the situations were looking. And yeah, they tried their best to implement the strategies so that they can overcome the effects, just or minimize the risk that COVID can promote to the life. As you can see in the picture, this is how the businesses were just working uh, before the COVID, before the pandemic. Just the business were learning well, they were producing their products, they were just improving. Yeah, the companies were eager to start just to implement their projects. Yeah, and also the customers were excited just to buy the products, and also the business tried their best in order to contribute to the employment so that people can get employed. Yeah, many businesses were starting, just were implementing, they were starting to implement their projects, other were in the middle of their projects, and other were about to finish their projects. That's before the COVID. That's how the business were working, and also the people were living, just getting whatever they need.
Is uncertainty. No one knows how bad the outbreak will get and what the impact might be. A falling stock market could affect the economy by sapping consumer confidence and reducing their spending. As long as U.S. consumers continue to spend, the economy will continue to expand, and there's little risk of recession. If the stock market tumbles further, however, all bets may be off.
Uh, there are different impacts, as I said above, that we are going to navigate more to see the impact that COVID caused. There was a shortage of products, the reduction in the sales. There is the drop in consumer spending, how they spend it's dropped down. There is the falling in stock prices. There is also a drop in revenue or taxes because the businesses were not working well. So that means the revenues or taxes were really easy to collect, and that led to the drop of the revenue. We can see that the sectors that were mostly affected. I have used the pie charts in order just to show you the percentage or to show you the measurement or statistics of each sector. Some of the sectors are tourism, entertainment, food and beverages, manufacturing. All those sectors were affected on different levels or on different percentages. You can just see how the percentage were different according to the sector. Even though there were different impacts, and also many sectors were affected at the great rate, but also the businesses tried their best to implement the strategies so that they can recover and minimize the impacts. First of all, they adapted the changes. They imitated some strategies from other businesses. They allowed them to just help them to recover. They invested in new technologies like using the online platforms, just online selling products. They used advertisements so that their products can be known all over the world. They manage cash flows and also try to make partnerships just to collaborate with other businesses so that they can increase their capital and also just to help them to be strong enough so that they can give the quality products.
akanuza kari huya nyine urahindura uyu ntayo gahindura.
Research on natural disasters and crisis management identifies three types of behaviors of individuals and companies to trauma. First, there are unfortunately companies that break down. These companies will require massive support from governments to eliminate or at least reduce the social impact of bankruptcies. Second, there are resilient companies. We hear a lot about resilience these days. Resilience means bouncing back, getting out of the crisis without being affected from it. This is obviously a positive behavior that also needs to be supported by governments, in particular trying to reduce the impact on cash of the current crisis, and for example through public warranties to the debt that companies have with the banking system, and trying to also creatively and massively support temporary layoffs. However, there is a third behavior of companies that I would like to focus on here. It is called by experts post-traumatic growth. Unlike resilience, post-traumatic growth does not only mean getting back from the crisis as before, but leveraging the crisis to become better and stronger. This obviously requires some key actions, activities and behaviors. First, companies should clearly identify the impact of the crisis on the steps in the company value chain and of the industry value chain. Second, they should act upon these effects, trying to eliminate them and try to turn them potentially into strengths to increase their competitive position in the future. Over these past few days, I could observe a number of such behaviors. For example, a company with a large chain of stores, of physical stores in natural cosmetics, heavily investing in its hardware, software and knowledge infrastructure for selling online, and very successfully so. Another company in consumer behavior with only one proprietary production facility, signing contracts with third parties to externalize part of its production, and realizing that these external producers will be able to co-design with them better products with a lower cost in the future. Another company that has been active in developing products and services for small municipalities, taking the time to develop some strategic efforts with their top managers, obviously online, to think about the next stage of related diversification, and several fashion companies investing in B2B and B2C platforms. The efforts of governments in the future should mostly be targeted to support this type of behavior, supporting companies that have been investing heavily in bold projects to innovate in Industry 4.0, artificial intelligence, and this kind of investments. Companies that obviously worry about today, but spend their best energies in thinking about the future.
To sum up, in summary, the businesses try their best to recover from the effects of this pandemic. They try to minimize those effects, like those cutting costs. They just try to minimize the cost. They make the innovation, just embracing themselves in digitization. They also made the collaboration with different partners. Also, the Ministry of Health and Economy supported the businesses by offering the financial support, the trainings, the information, the guidance, the flexibility, so that the business can recover faster. For more information, maybe you might find something like you want to know more about it. You can use this reference page, this reference list, so that you can just use it as a source for making a further research or understanding more about this information. Feel free to use the link so that you can help yourself to get more information. Thank you so much.